Hello, everybody. Welcome along. I'm based here in London, where it is getting dark. It's been a bit of a grey day, but I have to admit I haven't really been outside because it's been one of those back-to-back endless days. But looks much nicer where Sam is, although I don't know if that is a Zoom background. I suspect it
Oh,
probably is. Cool. Okay, so here we are. We are here for the Nation Builder Partner Power Hour series. Today we're going to be looking at session number two. And we are going to be seeing some really exciting solutions. We're going to be getting a good taste of them. Just to give a bit of an introduction from myself and my co-host Brian here. I'm Ollie. I am based in London, as it say. I'm a business development director, so I get to work quite closely with the various partner solutions that we have that we're going to be seeing from today. And I will pass over to my colleague Brian.
Hi all. Thanks for the intro, Ollie. My name is Brian. I'm based in Detroit, Michigan here. I work closely with Ollie on the business development team with all of our partners. And I'm excited for this kind of volume two of going through some of our partner solutions to show everyone what types of things you can do to power up your NationBuilder usage beyond the core product.
So today, this is what we're going to be looking at. We're going to start with CoolHub. With Sam is going to share a little bit about CoolHub. Austin is going to dive into some getting the most out of NationBuilder email, custom templates, and content. We're going to be hearing from Jason about an online election platform, choice voting. And then we actually have a couple of people who are down under. So we have some in Australia and New Zealand. So we have a couple of videos for full purpose around user-generated storytelling campaigns and for FieldEdge, which are field tools. So we'll learn more about those in a moment. But first off, I am going to pass the mic to Sam, who is going to tell us a little bit about CoolHub. Over to you, Sam.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sam Briggs. I'm with CallHub. I've been here for about 3 years. Been working in the calling space many years after that. Worked on nationwide political campaigns. I've probably overseen almost 1 billion calls at this point, and just many text messages. But don't tell my friends because they would hate me because their phones get destroyed around election cycle, and you can blame me for it. So here I am. So I'm going to show you some awesome things that we do real quickly, give you a taste, and then how we work great with NationBuilder and have all the great integration. So here we are. We are CallHub. I'm just going to make this. I'm going to move my little Zoom window out the way so we don't have to see that every time. All right, there we go. A little about us. Been around for 10 years, over 1 billion calls, 750 million texts. 40,000 campaigns, so done with stuff. We actually started way back in the day as a NationBuilder extension. That was our original instance as what we were as a software company. So we have been working with NationBuilder and integrated NationBuilder since the very beginning and foundational of the business. So it is a deep connection for us. Going to the future, we work with a bunch of people all across the world. We work in 6 out of 7 continents. If I can just get one person in Antarctica to make a call, I could have them all, would be great. Security wise, just starting from here, if in the world we live in, if it's not secure, if it doesn't hit your regulations and what you need, you can't use it anyway. So we are, if you're in Europe, GDPR, if you're in America, TCPA, SOC 2, ISO 2700, we have what you need based on where you are locality wise. For a platform, here's what we do. We do texting. So we do both broadcasts and peer-to-peer. So broadcast meaning mostly automatic responses. People say, yes, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, get a response automatically. Peer-to-peer is where you do replies, conversation replies back and forth. We also do inbound texting with keywords. Calling, we do fast calls, predictive dialing, call thousands of people, hundreds of people an hour per person. Slow calling, where you call individual people, leave messages, have listened to the ringing, have like a more personal outreach. We do voice broadcast, robocalls. Don't call them robocalls, a dirty word now. But voice broadcast, relational, emails, workflows, AI, whole bunch of stuff, right? Full featured platform. And that's really what's going to set us apart. We have the complete suite of tools with the best contact rates, strong integrations, as we're talking about here with NationBuilder, then just easy to use product. Personally, I think I've mentioned 2 things which I think are super awesome, or 3 things I think are super awesome. 1, spam label shield. You get calls, they say spam likely, spam, here, scam, whatever it be. carriers use their own labeling, we are able to get around a lot of that labeling and make sure your calls are actually delivered to the people you want to talk to, and make sure they actually pick them up as well. So a bunch of different ways to do that. We have, AI is a cool thing. We do summaries and transcripts of your calls. We'll tell you exactly what's happening. Think of this as automatic quality control for your callers. Know what's happening on every call. Know if the people are good, accomplishing what you want, all automatic, all in the background. Really take your program to the next level. On the texting side, we save you a bunch of time. Everything's automated. We track your links. We take out your profanity and your threatening messages. A bunch of good stuff there. And then workflows, automate, again, save you time. This is 2025. You shouldn't be doing busy work, right? So we have a way to just make sure that most of your outreach and follow-ups is done automatically. We get a bunch of reviews. It's great. Wonderful support. We want you to be successful. We work with folks who want to be, successful in what you do. So we're here with you. When it comes to NationBuilder, we have an amazing integration, full two-way real-time syncing. We're going to bring in your contact fields. You can choose which numbers you want to use. And then we're going to send back, and you bring in your list, and we're going to send back your dispositions, your survey question responses, tags, event RCPs, and including who made the contact inside of Call Hub. So you don't have to worry about, losing that personal outreach or knowing who talked to who just because you're using our system. You still get to retain that just like you were doing, native NationBuilder outreach. It's really easy. You connect it, you set your fields, you import your lists or your surveys or your tags, events, all the different stuff you can bring in, and then we send it back. You can see who was contacted. You can see how they were contacted, what happened, all right back automatically. So really efficient outreach, highly supported, really cost effective, to take whatever it is you're doing, whether reaching out to customers, voters, supporters, members, whatever it is, we can help you do it and do it fast and easy. I have a really hard time keeping it concise. So, I'm trying to keep this one tight here. So there we go. I shall stop my screen share.
Thank you so much, Sam. Definitely want to open the field for questions. If anyone's got any questions there, or Sam, if there's anything else at this of the deadline you wanted to share.
I mean, what basically I will say is we spent a lot of time. We've been in the space for a while. We spent a lot of time on trying to save you the time, right? There's a lot of outreach. Texting is great, but it's also getting flooded. It's becoming harder and harder to get the things you want. We work on contact rates. That's what we're about, but also just making sure you aren't spending a lot of time doing stuff that, you want to make sure you're spending time on the things that get you the results. So that's what we're here for. Text messages are great. We have all the features. We have all the great stuff. Your customers will love it. Your members will love it. But really, as somebody who does the work myself and was out in the field, I come from this, not from the software side, but from the doing campaigns in the field for, decades. That's really, I think, what's going to save you in the end. I want you to see your family, your friends, actually go to sleep at night and have some personal time back. So come to us. We'll make your life easier and hopefully automate some things.
Obviously, as mentioned at the top, for anyone wanting to see it in a bit more depth, see the app, etc., we'll share some details and you can set up some kind of specific demos. Please do kind of stay in touch with the business development team because there's a number of solutions in this space that can serve all of our customers. So I'm going to pass the mic to Jason, who is going to tell us a little bit about choice voting.
Thank you, Oliver, and hello, everyone. I'm in the UK as well, not too far from Oliver, actually, on the south coast in England. I'm going to walk through our platform, Choice Voting, and show you how we integrate with NationBuilder and hopefully make those elections a little bit easier for you. So what is Choice Voting? Well, we're an online voting platform, and the whole purpose of our platform is to simplify your elections and nomination processes and perhaps live polling and events and surveys if you have a need for them. So we have three elements to our software. One of them is the main one, which is online voting. The second part is online nominations, where we can run your nomination process, and that actually automatically builds your election in the background as well if you use that. And live in-person polling, where you can put questions up on a screen, have people join your meeting via a QR code, use your mobile to say yes or no, agree, disagree, whatever it might be. You can make up any questions you like in your meetings and resolutions and things like that. So we've actually been around for about 25 years now. We work with a lot of organisations in the UK. We do a huge number of school elections, but also deal with membership organisations, political parties, trade unions, golf clubs, and so on and so on. So with our software, we've designed it deliberately to be really simple. So a lot of our users don't have any technical knowledge around about building elections or even necessarily conducting elections. So we've condensed the whole process into really predominantly 4 steps. So on average, you can create an election in around about 5 minutes. The record that we hold currently for creating an election from nothing to launched and out to your members is 90 seconds. So I'm going to show you how to build an election. It's just screenshots, but it gives you an idea of the platform. So once you're building an election, you have just those 4 steps really, and they consist of creating a position, adding some candidates to your position, and then adding your voters, which is where we integrate with NationBuilder. You can preview that election and just make sure that everything is set up as you wish it to be, and then you launch it. So it's a really, really quick process. In your positions, you can choose things like the counting methods, and we have STV, first past the post, Scottish STV, IRV, and so on and so forth. Candidates, you can add your manifestos and photos and any other documentation that you want to go with it. So it's a really, really straightforward process. So in terms of what we're building in the future, because we have a lot of clients that don't really understand how to use online voting, we are going to launch in the next few weeks something called our election wizard. And the election wizard is really about us knowing how your election should be set up, and maybe you don't, and it will ask you a series of questions, and you just work through the flow. And by answering very, very simple questions in the wizard, it will actually automatically build your entire election for you in the background, and it will automatically import all of your voters or your members as well for you. From a voter's point of view, we've simplified the process as well. We have a little walkthrough here, but essentially what happens is when your election goes live, your voters get sent an invitation by email, and there's a magic link in that email which automatically logs them in. And they will see all of the positions within your election. You can have many positions, not just one, or resolutions. In fact, it can be resolutions or positions. And your voters look at the information, decide who they wish to vote for, click on them and click save. And that's the entire process from a voter's point of view. So as simple as we can possibly make it. In terms of integrating with NationBuilder, so every election needs a group of voters. So we have a NationBuilder integration there. You would enter your NationBuilder slug and then go through an authentication process. Once you've done that, you would head to the voters part of your election, and you can then just do an import from NationBuilder. And it will let you import everybody or segmented lists, however you've set up your membership. Once you've done that, it will add everybody to your election, and you can see that everybody gets a voter ID and a voter key, and that's one of the ways that we determine whether that person is eligible to vote, have they voted, have they logged in, and so on. The actual voters don't need to know any of that. It's just automatic for them. They just click the magic link. We are GDPR compliant. You can brand your election, so you can put your own logos and things like that in. All the results are instant at the end of the election. There's no counting to be done. You just press a button, see your results. You can download a PDF with much more granular detail about your count, particularly if you're using STV style of voting. Pricing, we have a pay-as-you-go generalized pricing. So that's where the election is costed based upon the number of voters that you put in your election. But we also offer annual licenses if you want to do live polling and nominations and lots of different surveys and questions throughout the year. And that annual license lets you have as many as you like. You know, there's no limits on the number of elections or the number of voters. So that's a very brief and quick overview of the platform. There's clearly a lot to see there, and it would never have fitted in a very short amount of time to show you how it actually works, but it's definitely designed to be very simple. So I'm not sure if there's actually any questions, Oliver.
in terms of usability across the globe. So obviously, some of the examples
Mm.
you showed were UK based, but is this fit for purpose in the US and Canada, especially?
Yeah.
Where I know a lot of people are joining from today, and throughout.
Yeah, I mean, most of the biggest question that anybody would have is probably the method of counting your election. So it varies from country to country. We use a first past the post system in our parliamentary elections in England, but Scotland tends to prefer STV. In the US, I know that they use STV an awful lot. So it's not location specific. We've done elections in Australia, America, across Europe, as well as the UK. When you build an election, you actually tell the software where you're located. So, 5 o'clock in the UK is not 5 o'clock in the US. So you tell it what time zone you're in, and the software will automatically work out what your 5 p.m. is, as opposed to ours.
Well, thank you so much, Jason.
It's okay.
Yeah, I'm sure that there will be some more appetite to dig in and see the platform in detail. But yeah, thanks a lot for the comprehensive but concise demonstration.
That's okay.
And we will move along. So we are now gonna pass things over to Austin. So yeah, Austin, take it away.
Hey, so basically, I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit today about custom NationBuilder email templates and automating the content that goes into those templates. Just a little about me. I have 10 years experience working on the NationBuilder platform. First 6 years was exclusively making NationBuilder themes and websites, and I work with any and all NationBuilder customers. Email templates are really hard. I know this because as a theme and website designer, for those 6 years, I generally sought to avoid it and would much prefer to work on themes and websites. And I'm sure my clients felt that while they had a good theme and website designer, it's kind of hard to find someone enthusiastic about emails, because I certainly wasn't. And yet, it might be your most frequent point of contact with your users or supporters, because a user may open your emails more than they visit your website. And so what I'm trying to do with this new service, and I've only been doing this service exclusively for a couple months, and it's born of the problem that I had where I wasn't really interested as a theme and website developer making email templates, and I'm sure many other of the talented vendors in the NationBuilder ecosystem aren't either. My aim is to essentially, in a very streamlined and cost-effective way, bring the features and aesthetic you'd expect from modern web design to NationBuilder email, while preserving the ability to render correctly across email clients and screen sizes, which is the really hard part about email. And of course, I just want to say that obviously NationBuilder has their new email editor with the content block, drag and drop system, and so on and so forth. And that's a fantastic system. And if that meets your needs, I will always recommend to use that. But I'm available for more custom things and stuff like that. And the second thing is, most of my work thus far, I said I've only been doing this for a couple months now exclusively, is basically replacing a tedious and manual process for NationBuilder customers of drafting, for example, their recurring newsletter, recurring emails. Basically having to go in and copy and paste the content from 6 or 8 blog posts into their emails and so on and so forth. Basically, I can automate that for you, because NationBuilder website content can be automatically included in email blasts, including in ways that aren't as well known, because it's not as straightforward as including NationBuilder website content or nation level settings like memberships, in themes and websites. So just want to quickly demo my email template here. This is a demo of an email template. We kind of have a nav up here. All these modules are kind of optional, and you can pick and choose. But a nav up here, a banner, some excerpts. We can get your goals for petitions and donations into the template. We can get bylines, byline image, link to an author, a little donation call to action. Upcoming events obviously is going to be a big thing. Normal content sections, as you'd expect from an email blast. Little carousel here with an image gallery, standard sort of FAQ section, which is kind of uncommon in email, and a standard footer with a little nav down here. So this is a demo template. I'll leave this with Oli and Brian so they can share the link with everyone. And then another thing about these templates is there's a no-code configuration. So essentially, We have a rules page here in a NationBuilder website. You might not know about this page type because it's a fairly uncommon thing to use, but you can set your primary color, secondary color, your font, and any other email configuration. We can connect this to the template. For example, number posts 6. If the default were say 4 for a newsletter template, you could set your number of posts to display in your template to 6. So we have no code configurations for all our templates. And basically that's it. Those are my current service offerings. Cost-effective and rapid email template design, plus the content automation, standard newsletter that might have a banner with a logo at the top, and then a content section, maybe a call to action, and then 6 blog posts with the footer, might be around 200 USD, delivered in less than 48 hours. So that's kind of an idea of what I'm trying to achieve here, a streamlined process for NationBuilder customers to have custom email templates and automate their content. Additionally, I can upgrade your auto responses on your NationBuilder websites. For example, you might want a donation call to action at the bottom of every auto response email, other than, of course, maybe your donation auto responses. It looks something like this. We can automate that in all your auto responses. So what I'm also offering is advanced content automation. If you have, for example, a non-NationBuilder website, within your blog post or on that, and you would like to automate the inclusion of that blog post content into your NationBuilder email blasts, I can help you with that as well. That's a more in-depth service. It's not as simple as just including your NationBuilder website content in your email blasts, but I can help with that as well. For example, if you had a WordPress site and you want to automatically include those posts in your NationBuilder email blasts on a recurring basis. If you want to get in touch about any of these current service offerings, you can send me an email at awesomebrothers1@gmail.com. I'll leave that with Oli and Brian. And then in the future, like I said, I've kind of just gotten started exclusively focusing on NationBuilder email. I'm going to have a bunch of free and paid pre-built templates with the no-code configurations that I showed that I'll be releasing in the next month or so. And then also, and this was what this presentation was going to be about, but I have not finished it yet, is a WYSIWYG CMS. You can think of for email. You can think of this as kind of like the NationBuilder email block builder, but a text-based config. And so if we were going to build, say, this block right here, using this WYSIWYG CMS system, and imagine this was not a NationBuilder page WYSIWYG CMS, but a NationBuilder email WYSIWYG CMS. You see you have the background image, double colon, background image URL, double semicolon, the label, the headline, the subheadline, and I'll just go ahead and add the button here. This is a nested attribute. The text, take action, URL, then we're done, and the new module, headline. So that's how basically, that's how basically you would configure that block using this WYSIWYG CMS. If you would like to stay updated when I release these free and paid templates, or when the WYSIWYG CMS email template builder is completed, you can visit awesomebrothdev.nationbuilder.com and sign up, and I'll send you an email when I'm done with these things.
Okay, fantastic. Okay. Now I am going to share. So this is a presentation from Kirsten at For Purpose, based in New Zealand. So I think the time is currently 6:29, possibly 5:29 in the morning in New Zealand, in the middle of the summer. So we have a video link rather than a live link. Away we go.
Kia ora and welcome to Community Generated Storytelling using NationBuilder. I am Kristen. I'm the founder and director at For Purpose. For Purpose is a movement building agency and we use storytelling a lot. Sorry I can't be there live today, but in this short recording, I'm going to give you some examples of how we use storytelling for different purposes and in different campaigns. And then we're going to dive into one campaign and I'm going to show you how it all works. These campaigns are all built on NationBuilder and use their websites to gather community generated content. So before we start, a bit of context. In the age of social media, it's really easy for us to think about storytelling as an output. As content, it's often just what it looks like. But at For Purpose, we focus behind the scenes on storytelling as a relational practice, as a community building practice. It's the building blocks of a movement or a community. It's a means of connecting, inspiring, and moving one another to work together to create change. It's one very high value action you can ask your supporters to do as part of journey. So how do we use storytelling? Well, one way is that storytelling supports an understanding of what is. It allows us to co-construct our reality. We can come together and say, here's what we're experiencing and here's why we must act. So storytelling is really important for us to build understanding and empathy and support for change. These images are from a campaign by the disability community here for the introduction of accessibility law. In this multi-year campaign, hundreds of stories were uploaded directly through the website from the disability community about their lived struggles and their hopes for how legislation could enable better lives. Another function of storytelling is to offer a vision of what can be, for articulating a future we want to reach together. When we involve people in co-creating and co-imagining a shared future, it is powerful and builds strong campaigns. Storytelling also supports sense making. When we share stories, we build a collective understanding of our experiencing. This was an inquiry into housing affordability by a government agency. They ran workshops around the country, gathered stories in those workshops, as well as online, of people's experience of the housing crisis we're experiencing. The stories helped create a shared understanding of what a diverse range of people were going through, and they helped create the solutions and inform the outcomes of the inquiry. Finally, storytelling supports movement building. Collectively, this campaign for the revival of the Māori language is at the heart of defining the story of our nation here, Aotearoa, New Zealand, the story of colonisation and the fight for Indigenous rights. We're going to dive into this campaign, have a look under the hood at how it works using NationBuilder. Okay, so we're looking at the homepage of the website here. We scroll down, we've got this latest action. We're asking people to share their why they're part of the revival and why it's important to them to be part of the movement. It draws out very moving and motivating stories. And all of this, these stories have been uploaded to the website. They are blog posts with images or videos attached to them. We're going to jump into a campaign now and have a look at one of the walls. Every campaign has a wall. These are all blog posts. We can click into any post on the wall. We can engage with the content here. We can watch the video in this modal that's opened up. We can see their written content. We can add likes and comments. And we'll see any images. We can scroll through the wall and engage with any content in the same way, liking, commenting, watching videos, seeing images. So how does it get uploaded? I'm going to click sign up here. And this is just a basic page, but we've styled it to be like an app. We've got a widget down the side showing progress and buttons. So the first action, if we want to, is to add an image. We can add from files, or we can do a screen capture, which I'll just do now for this exercise. These are processed and stored by Cloudinary. It's an external image processor which stores in AWS and delivers them back. We can also record videos. This uses a service called AdPipe or Pipe Recorder. We can record videos in the browser as I'm doing now, or you can upload from your device or add a YouTube link and submit that. I also have the opportunity to just add audio if I want. So 3 options there: audio, video, and photo. I click next. My last option is to add some written text. So here's my inspiring message. I can post anonymously if I want. I can click next. I can share to a group. I'll go into this in a little bit, not in much detail, but we have organizations that you can share to as well as your own profile. I can review on this screen. I get a little summary of what's going to happen next, and I have to accept the terms and conditions of sharing, and then I create the post. As I do this, we have submitted a feedback form. Here it is here. If I refresh the page, you'll see my submission 1 minute ago. So this was a feedback submission. As that was submitted, the API ran away, created a blog post using my content, then came back and dropped the link to the control panel and to the website to my post. So this is a blog post in a blog. I can click through. Here is the blog post that I created, the post itself. Often these are just viewed in the modal, in the wall, as we saw earlier. But you can see there's a note there saying it's in moderation at the moment, but I can see it because I'm the author. So we have a moderation tool. This is just a page, basic page in the website, only accessible by admins. But we can, the API is running here. We can choose any campaign or the whole site, and the API is going to run away and pull any unpublished posts, blog posts in the site. From here, I have an option to publish them. I can read the content, check it's all safe. I can add tags. I can delete them, and yeah, publish. Once published, here it is. Well, I didn't publish it then, but there it is sitting in moderation. This is my personal profile page, has all my posts. I also shared it to my group, which is my organization, which is the For Purpose Company page. This is it. We've got a featured post at the top and content from my other colleagues. And then we've got, 7,000 groups in the site here, and each of them have a bunch of people who are contributing to that page as well. So that was our local school there. So in summary, that's how it's done. We use a combination of feedback forms and the API to create blog posts that can contain videos, images, and text, which are stored externally. We display them on individual and group profiles, as well as pulling them into walls for campaigns or for featuring on the home page. They get recycled into social media, into compilation videos, and all of this helps fulfill the goals of the campaign to encourage more people to learn the language and to support its revival. Okay, I've gone over time, so I'm going to keep my wrap up brief. As I've demonstrated, we use NationBuilder feedback forms and blog posts in combination with the API to gather community generated content. It's content gold, but also, and importantly, it's a high value action and can help identify leaders in our movements. So we always view these actions as an important step in a user journey. So I hope this has been helpful. All of these examples I've shown you today have been custom built, but we are looking to potentially create a kit that could be used as an add-on to any NationBuilder theme to give you the core functionality. Thanks for listening. If you're interested in talking about anything you've heard today, then please don't hesitate to get in touch. And I'll just leave you with this one question, which is, what storytelling approaches could you use in your campaigns? Thank you, and ka kite.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for that. As Brian mentioned in the chat, we've got Eric here. Good to see you. Good morning. It'd be great to hear just a little bit about, if you could just share in terms of kind of, the availability of this. Again, presumably there's nothing in terms of geography that prevents, certain customers from one region or another, and also on pricing, which I suspect is fairly bespoke. But
hey guys, yep. We just do all bespoke. So if you want to reach out and contact us, we can usually work with anyone on their budget, depending on what they're after, and just try to make a solution that works great for you. But we've done large campaigns, small campaigns, everything in between.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much. I will go back to the share screen, and we're going over to Australia from New Zealand, where we're going to learn a little bit about FieldEdge from Ryan Anderson.
Hey there, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me on this short presentation. I'm from FieldEdge. We like to call ourselves a mobile organizing toolkit that empowers organizations, movements, and leaders to engage their community on the ground. And what that really means is we provide a mobile app that does canvassing, phone banking, and provides a mobile CRM that's built exclusively for NationBuilder. Now, we are non-partisan like NationBuilder, so all is welcome here. Hopefully that sounds good, but let me just start by giving you some reasons to stick around and watch the rest of this presentation. So in this session, I'm going to answer some really key questions up front. Firstly, why field campaigning is an essential part of any campaign, why using a mobile app-based workflow in the field drives better results than paper and pen, and then why anyone, young or old, regardless of if they've used apps or they haven't used that much, can use FieldEdge. And then finally, I want to show you the 3 different tools that FieldEdge offers that we think really supercharge your ground game, as we like to say. And also at the end, I will be making an offer that's exclusive to this session. You'll be able to take advantage of this offer regardless if you're ready to start in the field tomorrow or in 6 months' time. So stick around for that. All right, so let's start with the question, why field organizing? Field organizing, in our view, really leads to superior engagement. So it allows you to have conversations that allow you to gather like really great insights, whether that's into kind of like voter issues, sentiment, support, those types of things. There's really like no other way to get such fantastic insights from people than actually going out into the field and having those conversations. Again, it allows you to gather feedback that can be used to strengthen further campaigns. So gathering that information at the start of campaign and then feeding it back into the system is something that's really powerful. And the conversations that you have are not conversations that are generally had on social media, in an email blast. Being able to talk one-on-one with someone is just so much more meaningful and persuasive. And with these digital tools, they can be scaled to be able to have a lot of these conversations. And then finally, we feel that being out in the field just forms those strong grassroots. Putting in the effort, you're out in the community, it just really builds engagement and support. And all of this kind of leads to increased engagement and support of the campaign. So then the question becomes, why go digital? Why not just use pen and paper? So we think that these tools, like FieldEdge, are highly productive. So you spend less time setting up and managing field efforts. You can use NationBuilder to segment, turf cut, list management, assign those lists. You can really onboard people very fast and deploy it to staff and volunteers just by sending out an SMS or an email. They can download the app, log in themselves. They don't need to have a printed list. You don't need to meet somewhere, etc. And then once people are actually out in the field, they're more productive. For example, they've got guided by Google Maps. They're viewing information about someone behind that door in a very intuitive, fast way. And then lastly, there's no transcription, no data entry, no opportunities for mistakes, things to get missed. It all feeds back into the NationBuilder system. Let's jump into exactly how FieldEdge can help. So FieldEdge we think is a really powerful app, and here are the tools that are included in FieldEdge. So we've got our door-to-door canvassing solution, and all of these tools are kind of like applied. You'll see some stuff at the bottom of here, the screen. We're working with people doing sentiment campaigns, voter ID campaigns, persuasive campaigns, etc. We're working across the US, Canada, Europe, the UK, Australia. So we've got campaigns throughout, doing all types of different campaigns, and we've optimized the app for all of these different situations. So that's the first one, right? Going door to door, having a conversation, knowing who's behind it, being able to record brilliant outcomes behind it. So here you see an example, understand who you're sort of speaking with. We've got the Google Maps integration, so you see everyone in a list who's plotted on there. You can even bring up Street View. We've got things like being able to create a proximity walk where you can take your current location, create a list on the fly. So an example would be kind of like show me moderates with a 2-mile radius. And so that will just create a list on the fly for you. We've also got cold walks where you can start if you don't have a list already. You can just go out, use Google Maps to find the houses, tap on them, and create lists from scratch. So really great in places that don't necessarily have a voter file or don't have access to it later in the campaign. We've got our mobile CRM, which is effectively gives you access to the NationBuilder people tools anytime out in the field. We've got call time, which allows you to do phone banking, bring up a list of people, call or text them, record the outcomes, take a survey, etc. And then we've got the dashboard. So not only does your data go back into NationBuilder, we collect some performance data that allows you to really understand how the campaign is going. We've got a really powerful integration with NationBuilder. We've got real-time two-way sync. We've got the fact that data only lives on the device in NationBuilder. On the device, the mobile that the person's logged into, and NationBuilder. And very limited data is sent through or to FieldEdge servers. We've got all of the key NationBuilder features like surveys, event RSVPs, volunteers, tags, and more. And you can update and view a whole bunch of data points in NationBuilder. We've got really flexible workflows. You can customize things. We've got extensive reporting. And here's just some screenshots of the app. You can see it's quite beautiful to look at, but it's also intuitive, easy to use, and we get fantastic reviews from App Store users who are out in the field. We've got a ton of guides, YouTube videos, in-app support. You can book calls with us. So we're really here to support your campaign along the way and help you get the most out of FieldEdge. Finally, pricing. Here's just an example of pricing. Pricing is based on a few factors here. These are some starting out prices subject to your database size. And then finally, the offer that I promised. So we've got a 14-day free trial, fully featured, no credit card required. We're going to give you 20% off your first month once you subscribe, including a free onboarding session so that you can jump in and get the most out of FieldEdge immediately. We've got a bonus 7-day trial extension. So this is really key. If you're not ready to go now, what I invite you to do is start a trial with us. And then when you're ready to go, after the trial is expired, it's got to be more than 30 days. But once then, come back to us, let us know, and we'll extend that trial for 7 days. So you can give it a little test. Then you can come back. Maybe you've talked to the rest of the campaign, the organization, and you just want to do another 7-day trial. We're going to allow you to do that through this offer. So if you want to claim this offer, head to this link on the screen here. And I look forward to seeing you in the FieldEdge community very soon. Thank you so much.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the day for those, the rest of the day for everyone, which is long and short. And yeah, nice to see you all. We do have another Partner Power Hour session next week, so we'll be sending an email about that as well. Okay. Thank you, everyone.